Channeling Eric's hour of
Gotta
light.
love that enunciation, people, right? All right. Hello, beautiful people. We are so blessed to have Denise Ramon at deniseramon.com. We're going to put that information in the description box, but also on a screen when this is a YouTube. So, but that's pretty easy to remember. If you can't remember that, deniseramon.com, you got far bigger problems that could be there. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But anyway, she's got a channel, my son, my lovely son, Eric, who I miss so much, about manifesting. Hi, Eric. I love you.
He said, "Hi, Mama." He goes, he says, "I love you." And he said, "You've been busy today," is what he's telling me. Because
Yeah.
I feel like he's been following your feet. It's like he's exhausted from following your
Oh,
feet.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, he's ready to go.
Go for it. Tell us about how we can manifest. For one, I'd like to be able to manifest complete and absolute success for the documentary, which is going to be submitted to the film festivals here in the fall, and also for the feature film slash whether it could be a TV series. So I'm going to start doing the 369. Oh, put my diary in the other room. 369 technique that Tesla recommended to manifest. Is that what we need, Eric, for these two projects that we want to have succeed so we can bring awakening to the world?
Yes, that can work. That's another technique. He says there's many techniques to manifesting.
Well, and you're going to help, right? You and the divine.
Definitely. He says, because the way he said that, it's like he's going to be putting thoughts in your head, bringing people to you. Other people might say something and stuff, and they're like, oh, okay. And it's like, even if Denise says, well, I can send it to Susie and Susie can't do nothing, who knows from what can happen from that, because that will lead us into something else or whatever. Yeah. So, but he says manifesting, he says there's more than definitely one way to do it. He says the Tesla way, and I'm not familiar with that. I'm sorry, but I'm not.
No, it's like you say a statement that is like the kind of law of attraction type statement, right? 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times in the evening. And Tesla said that if people understood the power of the 369 sequence, they would have the keys to the universe. So
Erik says this is true, and there's this lady that created these socks called Note to Self. They're my favorite.
Oh.
And you can buy them in some stores, but I mainly get them online. And she learned that if you see something at least 3 times in a day, that you will start believing it. So on the Note to Self socks, on the socks, it says, I am brave, I am courageous, I am strong.
SOCKS?
Yes.
Oh.
And then, it says, I am love or whatever, and stuff. So Erik was bringing this because this is it, when you start seeing stuff. So Erik says the way that Tesla does it is because you're increasing it. And there's something about the threes, Erik is saying, and this is why it goes 3, 6, 9. And so then it becomes to where it's not that you're just giving something lip service. He says, after you say that for about 3 days, you start to, like, that's your thought. It's like you start feeling it, as you're saying it, because it's the feeling that really propels it to move forward. So he says, but not everybody wants to do it that way, because it does take some effort. I'm going to try that though. I'm going to try that. So I haven't heard, but Erik is
but you don't have to buy a journal. I mean, you can just write it down or you can just say it. So that might be an idea for Christina, who has her candle business, to make manifestation candles where she puts some sort of phrase embedded in it. She could just like put the letters and throw it into the wax, and then people see it 3 times a day or 6 times, then that might manifest stuff. So
Eric said that would
laundry
sell like
detergent too. But
Eric said that would sell like hotcakes if you did
yeah.
that. Yeah, that would really work because people are wanting something, you know, and it's not that the candle itself is but it's you have something to look at to remind you to start thinking it and feeling it. He says also a candle is soothing, so you know this will
Yeah.
help with that as well. But you know, he says everyone listening should try that 369 and do it for a week and see what happens.
Well,
But
how could Christina do it in the candle? Could she have a person just write out something and then when the wax is melted, stick it in there? Or should she actually put little letters and, you know, have some basic, I am, you know, whatever, I have absolute abundance and all whatever.
Erik is saying put in just the I am and let the individuals pick what they want to say the I am is.
Okay.
That way it's not, it doesn't have to be specific, you know, that way that one candle can be for anybody because they'll just see the I ams. And he's saying there's like little you can get these like, you know, sometimes you get these like little, I don't know what you call them, like confetti stuff that says happy birthday, you know, they you know, put something like that in.
Or
Okay, let's
for
say
Valentine's Day, she puts those little hearts, you know, the little
oh, that's so
nasty hearts.
cute.
Yeah, lots of cool
Yeah,
stuff.
so you could, you know, get the I am, like get someone to make those and put I am in there, you know, and then when people are burning it, they see that and then they can tag on to whatever I am they want because they may have 3 I ams that they
Yeah,
want
they
to
might
put
say,
on there.
I am healthy.
Right.
I am wealthy. I am happy. I am, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he said to that would he showed like that would just I just see like a lot of candles. So
Yeah.
this would really
If I were, I would like make the other parts of it and include it in it. Like I am love, I am loved, I am happy, I am wealthy, I am healthy. Just a few that they could put in there.
Erik says, yeah. That
Good. What else about besides 369? You know, for benefits?
Erik says one of the things people slow down about is they think because they're saying something that's going to do it. But Erik he was talking to me today about it even. It's you have to be in that feeling, which is your vibration, because that's what the universe hears. And I know that sounds so, I hate that, but I'm telling you, and I've even experienced some of this in my own life, things I manifested in that. Yeah, like this house I'm living in, you know, there was no way we could afford to buy this house when we bought it because our income wasn't there.
Yeah.
And a friend of ours was saying, oh, they have to sell the house anyway. I said, we can't, it's over our price limit, way over our price limit.
Yeah, it's a really nice house, dude. Let me tell you.
So but prior to her time, I would just, as I was working outside the house downtown, I would just envision the pictures in the buildings, like, oh, that would look nice in my house. I like those colors. I started envisioning the brick I wanted, the trim I wanted, and, you know, just started envisioning how nice it would feel and everything. So when she told us that and finally said, no, just make them an offer, they took $40,000 off the house. And even the guy said, and this was a brand new home. It wasn't like it was a pre-owned home. It was a new home. And the guy said, somebody up there must really want you to have this house.
Oh my God.
Because they approved it. And you know, I just remember how I felt when that happened. Prior to it happening, I was like, okay, what did you do different this time? Because I'm not able to just pop out things left and right. And what I did was, it's like I put on blinders and I didn't listen to what anybody said. Yeah. And Erik says that's another thing. When you're in the infant stage of creating, don't be telling everybody what you want, he says, because then it starts to deflate, because then you have people saying, oh, you can't do that, or why do you think you can create this business?
But it also puts you in the state of wanting and never having.
Right. And he says, so you don't want to do that. And as he says that to me, I remember I didn't tell people about the house we were buying or where we were looking. I just said, we're buying a house. And I just kept my blinders on the
Awesome.
whole time. And when we did sign the papers, family and that were like, how did y'all do this? And it's, and I said, we created it because we did.
Yeah.
And that's just one thing, one small thing. And Erik says, so when you first start out with the manifestation, play with it in your thoughts or write it out. What it is, what would you like to have? What makes you feel good? Well, I would like to have $1 million. Well, why would you like to have $1 million?
Yeah.
Because it would give me this, it'd give me peace, it would give me freedom. And Erik says, start getting into that feeling. And he says, or if you want a new car, why you want the new car? He says, because the universe wants us to have things.
Yeah.
It's not like we're not supposed to. And he says, get into, he says, get into that feeling of what it feels like to have that. And as he's telling me, it's like, stay in that feelings. That's a good time to put in that 369. Start remembering, like how that truck feels. Do that 3 times a day,
What
and
it
then do it
smells
6
like.
times.
What it sounds like.
Yeah,
The pride you
yeah,
get and turning the key of that thing and taking it on.
yes.
Yeah.
And the feeling of driving down the street and having the music on,
Yeah.
but don't get so specific that it has to happen in May on the 25th because
No.
I have a date that night. Don't be so specific. Leave those minor details to the experts, he says,
Yeah.
and just stay in the feeling of what it is you want and how it feels. Stay in that feeling. And
Is
he
it
says,
important?
go ahead.
Is it important to ask your guides and guardian angel for help in manifestation?
Oh, Erik says, yes, ask for anybody, and just ask for guidance, help me. And just, you can have a talk with, say, I really want this truck. I know I have a vehicle and it runs good and I'm real appreciative, but I really want this vehicle because I just like the way I feel in it. I like how it looks. I think I look cute. I think I look smart. Erik is saying, though, so be careful, though, when you're asking for the truck that you have a wallet to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because some people get vehicles that they can't afford to pay, but the universe is like, well, okay, we'll give it. This is what you're wanting.
Yeah. Well, that's the
So
whole
be
point. You have to ask,
right.
like, I want this truck, but I want to be able to afford it. And I can't afford it. You can
Right.
say
So
something
this
like
is
that.
where you just start asking. When you're asking for the truck, just envision how nice it's going to feel. Envision how nice it is to write out the check
And
for
how
the
easy it
payment.
is to pay for it.
Yeah, start getting
Look
into
at your
that.
bank
How,
account and say, oh my God, I got plenty this month for that.
yes, and start getting into the feeling of like you would like for it to be under 25,000, and get into how it smells.
Yeah.
And just because it doesn't happen within a month or two doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
This house took us 4 months to get.
That's nothing. Look, I think that it's really important to remember a couple of things at least. First of all, we have to realize that scarcity is an illusion.
Correct.
Abundance is infinite.
Yes.
And you can deserve anything. You can't feel guilty like, well, I don't know if I deserve this. And also you have to realize you have this power as being whole and part of our creator, of God. And so of course you can manifest anything you want. You are
Absolutely.
whole and part of our creator. So that's all I can say.
Well, Erik says you're right. He goes, my mom's right. That's what he's saying.
And I
He's
tell you
saying,
guys that in the scalar field every time I work on you. Many, 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 many times. So just to
awesome.
know that
Well, Erik is saying that, some of us have grown up with the thoughts, or we've been told, or we hear from other people that, you know, um, that we're not supposed to look at material things and we're not supposed to have this or want that, or it's greedy or whatever. And he says, the universe wants us to have nice things and fun things.
And if you want it,
Eh,
my husband loves material stuff. I don't care, but he
yeah,
does.
and
Fine.
it's like there's nothing wrong with that, he says. Um, but you don't want it to be your identity, um,
Yeah,
but
no,
you
I am my truck. No, you don't want that.
right, and so he says, but get into the feeling of why you want it,
Mm.
and what it can, what it's going to do for you, because there's Eric says, sometimes these things can help boost our confidence, because
Mm.
if we're having a cute haircut and cute clothes and a nice pair of comfy shoes, we feel even better about ourselves. So we come across more, more confident, is what he's saying. So there's nothing wrong with that, or wanting to go get your nails done, or
Yeah.
whatever. He says
Not
there's
me.
no. I just did
So,
mine today with my daughter's gel nail kit, but there's nothing. He says these things, it's about feeling good,
do you
and
do you
and
have to manifest things and part of it be something that is good for the collective, or it's a giving, or is it okay to just do it for yourself?
both.
You can do it. Do you? So you have to, like, I want $1 million, and I'm going to use part of it for good. Do you have to do that, or can you just
No,
think, I $1 million, and I want it for myself, and it's going to make me feel good and financially secure.
you can. Eric says, yeah, you can do it for yourself. He says,
Okay.
you
Uh,
know,
A
but
lot of
and he
people feel
said,
guilt. The Western society, we're all about guilt and shame, right? So,
well, Eric says some of that is, he calls it brainwash, because if we feel guilty about it, and thinking that we shouldn't have it, then we're not going to go in that direction,
yeah,
and then we don't ever get to experience that. But Eric says money is nothing but energy.
yeah,
And when he says that, I think sometimes, wouldn't it be amazing to put that much emphasis or energy, our thoughts, what we do on money, some of us do. Wouldn't it be wouldn't that be amazing if we could put that type of focus on something else
yeah,
that we want? Like Eric says, he goes, put it on yourself,
yeah,
like about how amazing you are, how wonderful it is, and just
yeah,
really, because when you get $1,000 in your hand, you're all happy. He says, start walking around like you have $1,000 in your hand, and make it about you're the $1,000. He's saying,
oh,
um, but he says, you know, you. He says the thing is though about winning $1 million, we want $1 million all at once. You might get $1 million in 4 separate increments, he
yeah,
said. So don't put a block on it. It has to look like this. It has to come like this, and it has to come on a certain day.
yeah. No,
Um,
you can't do that.
and Eric's wanted me to say this house, I envisioned the brick and the trim, the color, but this was even better than what I wanted, because it's a
Wow.
corner lot, and it had a fireplace. The house we were looking at didn't have a fireplace, same floor plan, but no fireplace. And it's like, we got a better deal. So don't be like, it has to
You
be
could actually
just
limit
like this.
yourself.
Yes, Eric
Let the
says,
universe give you more than you even dreamed of.
exactly, because Eric says you're putting, when you start putting it in a box, you're only designing it from what you know. He says, let us do that work. You just get into the feeling of it. He says, because then once you stay in the feeling, then we can start, um, crafting everything and putting it together.
Okay.
I like that. So
I
yeah.
like it
So
too.
yeah, and he says it's the main thing, and people get stuck on the manifesting, because they think, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to manifest it, and it comes in 3 months. The thing of it is, when you're at doing that, you're putting a hard stop on it, like it better be here in 3 months. And you
Yeah.
cannot do that because maybe you're not ready for it in 3 months.
Yeah. Right.
So he says,
And
then you
maybe
may
even a
think it,
better opportunity or even more money will come through if you don't, specify such rigid parameters.
right.
Yeah.
So he's saying, those are ways. And he says also too, it's like really check in with yourself throughout the day and see where you are, see where your thoughts are. Are you thinking of in lack, like, God, I wish I had some of this? And he says our words are very powerful. He's telling me, um, and I've heard this before, so I'm wondering if he's picking it up, but he says, our words, they don't call it spelling for nothing. So when we speak our
Mm.
words, it's like
Yeah.
we're putting that energy out there.
And a
So he
spell.
said, yeah, so we have to be careful.
Yeah.
And
Beware your
he
thoughts,
said,
people. Yeah.
yeah, and that's, I mean, we can't always be in the right direction 24/7, but it's like every now and then check in with yourself. He says, put a timer on your phone or something and start checking in. And he says, put a timer on your phone to do the 369 thing. He says, if you
Yeah.
need to. And he says, it's good to write it out because then you can see it. He's
Yeah.
also telling me, that's another thing is he was telling me that, and he's reminding me that these vision boards that people do, those things are really great to do.
I know. I keep thinking about doing it, but it sounds like way too much work. I mean,
Well, he's showing me how, and we've done this where we take a poster board and cut it in 4, so you only do a quarter of one.
yeah.
And but he was telling me earlier today, like, people put pictures and words on there. Don't put words on there. Just do pictures.
Hmm. Good, because
And he
the
says,
universe will not be able to read my writing. I can tell you
and
that.
he says, so just paste your pictures, what you want on there, and paste the pictures that bring you that feeling. And he says, and then if you're like, okay, after a couple months, no, I'm not there anymore, then flip it over and then make another vision
Yeah.
board. And you don't have to have it where everybody sees it. You can have it in the back of your closet, but somewhere
Yeah.
where you see it to
Yeah.
remind you, oh yeah, this is what it feels like to be out by the beach in the sun and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So he says, yeah, so and he says everything around you that you see, you created.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
It is amazing. Anything else you
And
want to
so
say before we take callers? Anything about manifestation? Any tips? Advice?
Erik is saying that we are co-creators.
Yeah.
And he's reminding me, that, it's a frequency that becomes a thought, and then the thought becomes a desire, and it's already there.
Yeah.
All you're doing is the footwork to get there. And you do the footwork.
Your energy has to, the vibrational frequency has to match the frequency.
Well, that's
of
the
what you
footwork,
want.
because that you get to work and how you get in there. And
Yeah.
he says, and sometimes along the way, as you're going in that direction of what it is you want, you're like, I really thought I wanted that truck, but as I'm looking, I don't think I want that truck. I'm really admiring the
I really
Teslas,
want a
and that's what I
Lambo.
want.
I want a
Yes,
Lambo. Ugh, can't put groceries in that shit. All right.
yeah. So yeah,
Are you ready to take
so
calls? Or
I am. Erik says the
I don't
reason
want to
why things
interrupt.
don't. That's okay. Erik says the reason I interrupted you. Erik says the reason why things don't happen instantly all the time, because you might watch something and go, oh my God, that elephant's so cute, or that monkey's so cute, or that puppy's so cute. I'd love to have one of them. And just think of poof, there it was. You really wouldn't want that. And I agree with him.
On the elephant, yes. Way too much poop. All
Oh
right.
my God.
That sounds awesome. Awesome. All right. So we're going to take calls, but I got to help the international callers. So, I usually take like 5 people and just make it as short as possible because you have so many callers, Erik. All right.
Okay.
Lorianne Bellissimo wants to know if her mom, Nina Bellissimo in Toronto, is 85 years old, does she have atherosclerosis in her legs? Or does she have arterial sclerosis? Atherosclerosis is cholesterol plaques, right? that causes heart attack.
Mhm.
But arteriosclerosis is like little fatty deposits. Does she have either of those?
Eric says it's the first one,
Which what did I say first?
the
Athero.
the cholesterol one.
Oh, what can remedy her inability to stand and walk for long periods of time? She's not one to rest much.
Well, Eric is saying, hopefully she's getting medical attention for this.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Well, of course she needs that.
yeah, Eric,
I can't remember if I did but I've added so much to the cardiovascular overhaul, but I don't know if I did a custom service for her atherosclerosis or if I did it for arteriosclerosis. But anyway, does she need a tune up on that? Maybe? Or just
yeah, but there's Eric is saying though, there's something that I feel like she's not adhering to something that keeps creating it, like
oh,
keeps it going.
maybe she's
So
smoking, maybe she's eating fatty foods, something like that. But
yeah,
walking
yeah,
is really important. Walking is really important.
yeah. And if she can't walk, Eric says, even if she sits down and moves her legs up and down, at least there's something going on in there. It's moving something
Okay.
if she can't walk. But Eric says, I really get that she ought to have that looked at by a professional.
Yeah, I think she has. All right,
Okay.
so I've got this woman, Barbara, uh, who has just horrible diarrhea all the time. It's weird because she'll even push buttons on a remote and it causes passing of gas or diarrhea. So I told her I gave her a list of tests I would love for her to have, but I think it's Barbara R. But what's going on? Is it a parasite? Is it is it gallstones? Is it? I mean, there's so many things it could be. Some sort of infection. What's going on with her? Or do
Well,
you?
Eric says there's some kind of bacteria going in there
Oh,
because it's like bypassing something, and there's some kind of bacteria going on in there.
could it be Clostridia difficile? Because when someone's been on a lot of antibiotics, that can cause C. diff, and the toxin causes just profuse diarrhea. Or could it be something like that?
Eric said yes.
Okay, let me see. I gotta find that.
Mm.
All right. So, well, let me get to the next one while you answer that. All right, we've got somebody, Melanie, hands H from England, and she would like to be able to recover from fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. She wants me to tell you that she's transgender, but I don't know that that makes a difference. So how can scalar energy of any sort help her? Like we have the fibromyalgia service, or would the main service help? Because a lot of times trapped emotions
Yes.
and other things and past life bleed through can cause some of these things. So what does she need?
Well, the scalar work can help her, and and it's transgender did not make her have this,
Oh no.
but when you have the but I mean, Eric is showing me how even if you have a bunch of support, it's still not easy going against the grain, or what people call the normal grain,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I do feel like there is some adjustments in there. I do feel there's a little shame in there on her part.
Oh.
Um, and it's, I do, Eric shows me there's a little bit of depression going on in there as well. And so,
So what
you
can we do
know,
to help her?
that one
The,
about
the
removing the trapped emotions, that
okay, so the main
service,
service.
yeah, that would really help her. And Eric says she's just super cute and she needs to know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so cool. Trying to find that one person. Oh yeah, the one with the digestive issue is actually Rosemary B. So does that change anything? Because I didn't get the. So you still think it's an infection?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what Eric
Okay.
said. Yeah.
All right. Another one. Ava Lynn. She's from Norway, I think. It's cool. Eric, please help her find a job. The question is, I wonder if we need the main scalar energy service, or do we need a maintenance or tune-ups on the household? What does she need in order to, get a job, find abundance? You know,
Eric says the tune-up would help with that, but this is good for her to just start when she wakes up in the morning, get dressed like as if she's going to work.
oh,
Get ready, get ready. Get ready like as if you're going to work. If you wear makeup, put on makeup, fix your hair,
and
put
this is
on clothes
a
like as
perfect
if,
topic for her. Today's topic.
yeah. Yeah,
So,
so
yeah.
just go like get ready like as if you're going to work already. Just start getting that into action, getting the feel. Start setting your alarm up. Say normal work hours you work are 6 to 5 or whatever they are. I don't know. And so set your alarm clock for 5 o'clock. Start getting up at those times, getting yourself ready to go, and just start getting yourself into action because I feel like there's going to be a job coming for you the way Eric has shown me within the next 3 months. So start getting yourself ready, like as if you're already there,
And maybe try
and
the 369 technique too. There are
oh
also
gosh, yes.
diaries you can get. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, let me see here. We have somebody from the 920 area code. Hi there, how you doing?
Hi, Elisa. It's Michelle.
Hi,
Mitchell from
Michelle.
Wisconsin.
Hey.
How are you?
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. Can
Uh,
you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can. Go for it. I know what you're calling
Okay.
about. Awesome.
I don't know, maybe a week ago or so, I had sent a yes or no question to Denise about Mitchell's book. And
Poetry,
Eric had
poems,
said, yeah,
right?
it would be good.
Yeah.
But now he's got a question about that.
Mitchell, tell us
Hi,
what you
Lisa.
got.
Hi, Denise.
Hi,
So,
Mitch.
Hi.
yeah, Denise and Eric had said that.
Mitchell, you and I go way back. Oh my God. I just feel like another mother, however inferior to you.
Oh,
I really do. I've talked
I
about
hear
you
you've been
to,
going to bat for me in certain
I
ways.
just really have a lot of love for you. Okay?
Oh, thank you.
I do. You deserve it.
Well, you're a big part of our household too.
Oh gosh. Thank you.
So, yeah, so a couple of weeks ago, we had sent in the question to Denise and Eric about my book of poetry, and they said I should go with this publisher, and that was all well and good until I learned how much it was going to cost.
What's the name of the publishing
So it's
company?
gonna be,
Can you tell us or not?
well, yeah, it'll be For Better Waters,
Okay. I like that name.
and thanks. So yeah, it's going to cost like around $5,000, and at this point, I'm trying to pay off loans,
Yeah.
and I wonder if it's really the avenue I should be going.
Well, Eric says when you ask the question, like, is this the route, is this good to go to? And it's like, yes, because they would really be able to get you out there. Personally, I wouldn't pay 5,000 right now. I would pay off your other loans and do that first. That's me personally. That's a mom coming out saying that. Anyway, but Eric is saying, there are other ways to get your book out through self-publishing. You can do that. That's a route that a lot of people are going because of the cost.
Well, I can
with
help plug
that,
it too. So maybe an
yeah.
ebook from Amazon would be a starter, and then when you get some money and notoriety, then go with this publisher maybe, because these guys also do illustrations for you, correct?
Well, that's the thing. So it was originally I had asked for illustrations. They were going to do illustrations for me, and it was going to be an extra $2,000 to do the amount of illustrations I wanted. So I kind of forewent that, and now it's at the current price that I had said. So
Well, what about Fiverr? There are a lot of illustrators on Fiverr that will charge much less than that. They're really great. So, I mean, you could consider Fiverr, Fiverr.com for illustrations.
okay.
All right. Do they help distribute it, sell it?
Yes, they have. So basically, this publisher will do everything for me. That's why it's such an attractive option.
Yeah.
They have like all these connections, and they're gonna allow me to like use all these media. Well, they give me like 10 media people that I can send it to if I have their contact, and there's like all kinds of great parts of like a promotional strategy that they'll do for me. So
It sounds
that's
like they're
included in the
legit.
price.
It doesn't sound like they're scam
They're
artists to
legit,
me.
yeah. I mean, no, they're not. They're not. It's not a scam.
No.
They are like
Yeah.
an established publisher.
Yeah, Eric says they're really good.
Yeah, there's actually like a contract that they wrote up for me and everything, and I've reviewed it, and it looks to be in order, and they tell me like outright how much I'm gonna make per book, and
I like that.
yeah. So
Well, what should he
You like
do,
'em?
Eric? Should he? I can help plug it, and he can do an ebook and getting money and the stuff that way, and then go to this publishing company and go the full court press.
Eric said
What?
yes.
Just
Eric
wait.
said yes. Eric says you can go that route because Eric shows me like he's worked really hard with this book, and he says it's really a good book, by the way, he's saying. So he's saying, yes, go the softer route, he's saying, and he's showing me the softer route as far as finances to go for right now, just to get that book out there, because this is going to help you with your juices of like when he's showing me the juice about it flowing and stuff, and it's going to help you feel good. He says you could go that other route and pay the 5,000, but the thing of it is I just feel like you wouldn't be okay with that because you know the cost, so it wouldn't feel good to you, so then it would just not be the best route for you at this time. The publisher itself is really good and it can do wonders, but Eric says just because you're not doing it first off doesn't mean you can't do it later. When you get cash in, and when you give them that cash, you can feel good about giving that cash to them, and not be like
Worry about
clenching your teeth.
finances.
Yeah.
well,
Yes.
I'm not really worried about the finances because I did recently have like a tax return that was pretty sizable, and I also had like some money fall into my lap kind of through like a car claim, and so I'm thinking about maybe putting that instead of on my car towards the publisher. And yeah, I don't know if I'm like that worried about the money. I just
All right,
wondering
what
if,
should
like,
he do?
paying the money is
Eric, what's the best thing to do?
Well, Eric says that publisher is really good. His main focus and thought is what publisher should he go with that's going to promote his book and get it out there and be where it's more visible. And Eric says that this publisher is a good publisher. That's why he said, yes, this is a good publisher. But you also have to go with how are you going to feel about giving them all that money when you have other
Financial obligations.
that you could use that better. And Eric says that's going to be a decision you make on what you want to do with it. Eric shows me that book will get published. And it doesn't matter which route you go, it's still going to get published. So if you went the ebook way or did self-publishing or whatever, that do that. I know some people who did self-publishing and did their own books and got them on Amazon somehow. We got some channeling Eric people on Amazon that have written books. So
look at Ivo. I mean, God, he's made a bundle on his self-publishing. So not even they even had Amazon publishing that actually makes hardcover books and maybe illustrations with Fiverr. But anyway, think on it.
It's really about your choice.
It does sound like a decision I'm going to have to make myself. And when he said it's a decision like following whether I want to pay the money, like if that's if paying the money is going to be like almost like not like a moral stance, but like
Feel
like
good.
a
Feel good or bad.
self-confidence stance.
Yeah.
Like if I had to pay for it and it's my self-confidence, that's more like what I think Erik meant.
I
So
think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I say do what
that is a decision I'm
Erik.
gonna make.
But
What
remember,
Erik says.
remember the topic of today, manifestation.
Mhm.
I believe me, that didn't pass my awareness. I
Yeah.
am very in tune with that.
Mitchell's so smart. All right. Thanks for calling, Mitchell.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Love you.
He
He's
sounded cute too.
oh God. And Michelle, his mom, is such a
Mm.
wow. All right, so let's see. We have somebody from the 317 area code. Hi there, how you doing?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to know if there is any advice career-wise.
Any advice?
Can you be more
Career-wise.
specific?
Like what direction I should go. With
In
my
what?
career.
In love, in career, in health?
In career.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what's your
Wait,
first
what-
name?
Yeah, what's your first name and where are you calling from?
Oh, Kim from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Kim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to know what direction you should go with your career.
Correct.
Did you see that?
Yeah, what the heck was that? Wait, are you with app? Are you using a Mac?
I'm sorry.
Wait, I'm talking to Denise. Are you using a Mac?
Yeah. But
It
I'm not
might be some
touching
Apple
nothing.
gesture thing. What did you do? With your
Nothing. Nothing. I have a pencil in my hand. And I write down the person's area code and their name
wow,
when I'm
that's
doing the
weird.
radio.
Is that Erik doing something funny?
He does stuff
He
when I
does.
do things on there, and he does like a thumbs up when we're doing stuff. It's like the bizarrest thing ever.
Wow. All right, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what that is.
Okay.
All right, go
Okay.
ahead.
So
Kim.
Kim, so you want to know what to do with career-wise, correct?
Yeah.
So when you say that, it's like Erik right away, he's whispering in my ear, she feels stuck and she's not happy with what she's doing. Would you agree with him?
Yeah.
Okay. So Erik is saying to me is, first of all, he wants you to write down on a piece of paper all the things you know, all the things that you can do with your work, because he says your confidence level is not that high right now. It's like you're not really seeing your worth and your good. And he says, so start writing down all the things that you do, because he says you are more valuable than what you realize.
You're a whole part of God, dude. You are divine and vastly powerful. And so many people don't understand that. But go ahead.
And so Erik says, when you start seeing all these things that you know how to do, and he says, don't criticize, well, I can't do it that good, but start writing all them down. He says, you're going to start seeing how you have so many abilities and that you are marketable.
Yeah.
And do you work with numbers or something, or with customer service, something with numbers and customer service?
I used to, but I'm currently unemployed.
Okay, so that might be the direction to go look, because I see something with customer service and numbers. So even though you're unemployed, right, start writing down all the things that you know how to do.
Okay.
And then Erik says, you're going to start seeing how you do add value to anything that you apply for.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
Erik, help
You're
her.
welcome.
Help Kim.
He says he definitely, yeah, he said yes. All right, take care, Kim.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, got somebody from the 213 area code. I have to click twice sometimes. That's way too much work.
Hello.
Kidding. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
I'm
Hi.
good. How are you, Lisa and Denise?
Hi, Denise. Where are you
Hi.
coming from?
I'm calling from California, San
Uh,
Fernando Valley.
Is it Denise, last initial V?
No,
What's your last
Lisa.
initial?
C.
Oh, okay. Got it. What you got for us?
Okay, so I'm calling because I've been trying to manifest. I have a lawsuit going, and I'm trying to get more in retirement because they let me go for vaccination.
Oh,
I'm trying to
God.
see how that will work out.
So you're trying to manifest a what now? I'm sorry.
A better legal
I'm trying-
decision because she was fired wrongfully because she didn't get the vaccine. Am I correct?
That's correct.
And you're suing them for wrongful termination.
That's correct.
Okay.
And
Well,
I would prefer they give me more retirement money since they let me go. I got a new job. I don't care for that much, but
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how it'll.
well, Eric says it's going to turn out in your favor. He says you're going to win this. This is what he's telling me. So just know that. So Eric is just saying, well, he's not just saying, you know, keep getting all your papers together. And I'm assuming you already have an attorney, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So Eric says, just make sure you have your papers together. He says, and you keep a notebook of what's going on, like what you give your attorneys, what's going on when you've talked to anybody and stuff like that. And Eric says, you know, just know that where you work is temporary. Where you work right now, you don't have to be there forever. Just know it's temporary, and thank the place for giving you a paycheck so that you can do what it is you're doing now, and just like get into the appreciation of that paycheck. And he says this is all going to work out for you in the long run, for the with the lawsuit. I don't know if you're going to get as much as you want, but Eric says you will definitely get some. And Eric says do go after more retirement.
Oh, great. Does he say any kind of timeline? It's already been a year.
Ugh. These lawsuits.
Yeah, they take a while, and Eric says there's more lawsuits like this than what they advertise because they don't want everybody else flooding in. You know, I don't.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it could be by the end of this year, but I'm not getting the definite yes by the end of
Okay.
this year. But just know that you're going to be okay and supported as you go through the process. And Eric says these attorneys wouldn't have taken your case if they didn't think they had a for sure deal.
Yeah, and remember to ask for help from your guides and your guardian angel.
Okay.
Always ask. And the 369 thing, do that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you so much.
You bet, sweetheart. Okay, I got a question about my daughter, Michelle, and her husband, Nick. They're the ones that have 4 kids, the ones that are least able to afford it, by the way. But they had a leak behind their walls, behind a wall, whatever. And the Hippo insurance, never get that, will not pay them for it. And Nick has done the floors again and the walls. He's fixed everything, but they have their final. They've been through mediation, all that stuff. They have their final thing in sometime in the fall, September. Are they going to win that case? I mean, why have insurance if you had this leak that manifests itself and then they don't pay for that and all the damage is done?
Yeah, Eric says, and it's because they've had so many claims lately. Like I know our neighbor had to hire an attorney to get their insurance to cover their roof replacement due to Harvey. It took a couple of years for that to go through. But Eric says, this is. Yeah, I do get like they will. I do get like I don't think they're going to get as like what they deserve to have, but I do feel like they will, yeah, they'll get it. And it's, you know, it's, and Erik says this is what they do. The insurance
Right.
companies challenge you, and yeah, but I do get that they will prevail. I just don't feel like they're going to get. It's like an agreement. Okay, we'll just take $5 and y'all keep
Oh God.
the other 15 or something. You know,
Oh.
like they won't get as much because,
What if
and
I
that's what.
fight for them? Like I have the contact information. I can tell them, look, dude, this is a first responder. Michelle's an emergency room nurse. She has 4 children. They went for a time where they only ate peanut butter sandwiches because they have such financial difficulty because the husband didn't work for a while. There's other reasons for that. And you know, I could tell them, man, I mean, you've got to make this right. I've got a big following. I will turn you into the Better Business Bureau. I will broadcast your shit all over social media. Would that help or do more harm?
Do more harm, Erik says.
Okay. Damn it. Mama Bear has problems here. Okay.
I hear
Bear.
you. I hear you. I'm the same way, Elisa. I'm like a bulldozer in there.
No, when our kids are concerned. All right. Now this girl, Lena TOU, she doesn't enjoy living in her apartment. And she's wondering if there's some spiritual shit going on in the apartment. And, you know, if so, should she move? Lena TOU.
Erik says yes, she should move because she doesn't enjoy living there.
Well, what's going on? Are there negative entities or some
I just feel like
Okay.
it's just in the energy all around.
just
I don't
negative
feel like
energy?
I just don't feel like it. Erik says it doesn't vibe with hers. I don't get like it's negative. It's just not a frequency that she likes to be in. So
So
yeah, Erik says
there's no weird earthbound spirits or negative spirits or anything like that. It's just like the energy is not matching with her energy.
yeah, and Erik says she's been really working on her own self. So as she's healing
Oh.
and expanding in her growth, you know, of course it's, you know, that people around feel that, but I just don't feel like they're moving as quickly. And she's just starting to, she's not just starting, but she's feeling the imbalance there. So Erik says, if you're not happy in that apartment, he says, move if you can. If if you don't have a lease, then move. If you have a lease, see when it is, see if you can sublet it out or whatever. He says,
Yeah.
but that's why. But Erik says you can also, in the meantime, you know, you can sage your place, or
Yeah.
you know, you can
Sage
just
followed by Palo
do,
Santo. Yeah.
yeah. And you know,
Try
and
that
he says
first.
if you don't want the smoke, they have liquid ones that you can do the sage.
Yeah, I
I
got the
think I even have,
spray. It's awesome.
yeah, I do
And
too
candles.
with it. Yeah, I have that with the Palo Santo and the white
Yeah.
sage spray, you know, do that and just, you know. And Erik also is saying, what is it bringing up for you?
Yeah.
And look into that.
All right. All right. Awesome. All right. So got somebody from the 850 area code. Maybe I already did this person. 850
No,
805 area code. What's up?
Hi,
Hi. Who is this?
my name is Priscilla R.
Hi. Where are you calling
Priscilla
from?
R. from California,
Hi.
California.
Okay.
okay.
And I'm calling, I have a question about my 17-year-old son. I've been having a hard time with him, and I just want to know if things are going to get better.
What's his first name?
Nathaniel.
What is it?
Nathaniel?
Nathaniel.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Are things going to get better? Is that your question, correct?
And maybe what's going on with him?
Yeah.
What is it?
He has a drug addiction.
Okay.
So Erik says, because right away, before you even told me, Erik says, it will get better, but not for a while. So So does he live with you?
Yeah, we've been, working, taking him to counseling, and it's just been a really hard last.
Oh
few
God, I know the feeling. What is his drug of choice?
It's fentanyl.
All right. Here's the deal. Okay, so I had a family member that was hooked to opioids. And when I put that person on a low dose naltrexone, and you have to like go in a really low dose because otherwise it'll precipitate withdrawal. He came to me.
He's on.
No, wait, not
he's on
naltrexone. No, that's not the same. It's not the same. A lot of people who are hooked to fentanyl, it's because they have very low endorphin levels, and that can be congenital or it can be acquired. Okay. The ones that are acquired is because of trauma, whatever, that their endorphin receptors don't work. It's very complicated. But that person, after 3 days, came to me and said, I feel normal for the first time in my life. Okay. Low dose naltrexone, not Suboxone, not naltrexone. What happens is that when you're on a super low, not 50 milligrams, not 100, but 4.5 milligrams, what happens is it tricks the body and it leaves the body very rapidly. And that triples the endorphin release. And when that happens, I mean, they feel so much better. I mean, it can cure so many people. But unfortunately, it's too cheap. Okay. Big Pharma won't make any money from it. So they don't want you to know about it. They don't want doctors to know about it. They want it to be hidden. So the problem is that you have to go to you have to telemedicine you could do. Find an LDN doctor. Google that, and you will find somebody to help you with telemedicine. It's super cheap. It's like $30 a month, and it's very safe. It's called the why not drug because it's that safe. But because he's on fentanyl, he has to start on super low doses to avoid precipitating withdrawal. This can save his life. What do you think, Eric? I mean, you're the expert.
He said, what are you? He goes, Mom, you're the doctor. So he said definitely this can help and work. But Eric also is saying counseling or something needs to be also addressed with him as to what got him tapped into that type of drug to begin with. And I also feel like, does he still hang around with the same friends?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's hanging out with a new set of friends, but they all he always ends up with the same type of kid.
Yeah. So Eric says he's got to stop that. And he says, Mom, you can't enable him.
Okay.
And that's a tough one. That's a tough one as a parent. That's a tough one because we don't want our babies to hurt. But Eric says you can't enable him.
It'll save his life.
Yes, it will save his life if you stop.
Okay, is it a good idea to pull him out of school and do independent study, or because I know he's it's a problem at their high school, and
Oh God, it seems like homeschool him. Homeschool
Yeah, I would do
Laurel
it, yeah.
Springs. Laurel Springs is a great curriculum, and from Ojai. It's like that's what I did with my kids. But there's lots of homeschooling programs as long as he has some social outlet, of course. But yeah, before he turns 18, man, seriously, get on this.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that, girl. So anyway, email me if you need anything, okay, darling?
Okay.
Elisa at atlantascalar.com. Maybe some scalar services would help. But anyway, we can talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Take care, Crystal.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And thank you, Denise Ramon at Denise
You're
Ramon.
so welcome.
Thank you, Eric. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Big hugs and love you too. Bye.